Hello, welcome to Should I Buy This Game, featuring Flock Together. My name is Christine, and in this video I'll give you an overview of how the game is played, and then I'll share a few things I may like or dislike about the game to help you decide if you want to add Flock Together to your collection. This is the game Flock Together, where the chickens want to beat out their predators to live a happy chicken life. The predators come in these little books with the eyes. And what you do is you turn to the first page of the predator. So this here is Salmonella. He's a cute little mouse, but he is dangerous. So when you're setting for how much you have to battle to kill the predator, it is the number of players times 2. So I've set up for a solo game, so I've just put 2 on the counter. But if we were playing with 2 people, then it would be 4, 3 people would be 6. And you do that for each of your predators. They'll have different numbers on them. So however number times the number of players, and that's what you set up your counters for. Now I'm going to go over your personal player board. You start with the chick that you've chosen. So here we have Madame Tchaikovsky. So down at the bottom is your beginning effects. So experiences no negative effects from freezing temperatures or hail. So when it comes to the weather cards, some are freezing and some are hail. That will have negative effects. And Madame Tchaikovsky, she's used to the cold and does not care about any of that. The other important thing here is how many hearts you start with. She starts with 4 hearts. The next thing is how much food she needs to eat to upgrade. So this is our meal counter, and she needs to eat 6 meals before we can upgrade her to the next level. So to do the meal counter, once you eat 1 meal, you put a food of your choice. It doesn't matter which one, they're all just food. And each time you can move it along, or what we do is we just keep adding more food to it because we like to look at the food. But you're supposed to just move it along. And when you get to 6, you don't reset it, because then we'll be working on getting to 12. The other thing here is how much power you have in a battle. So she has 2 chicken fists, so she gives 2 attacks when she's attacking predators. And to do that, I'll talk a bit later, but she would have to pay 2 food to give 2 attacks. In this corner, it tells you what you get at the beginning of each day in the production phase. So at the start, she will get 1 food item at the beginning of each day. Here we have your hearts. So when you attack, they're going to give damage back, and you turn over your hearts until you are able to go and heal them. Over here, we have an extra play. So once per season, you're allowed to go 1 more turn, play 1 extra play. And then you just turn it over, and at the start of the next season, it's back up. This is just to remind you what color you're playing with. So if you're playing with a lot of people, you know which chicken is yours. This is where we keep our food. This is where we keep our eggs. And this is everything you can do in the game. So on your turn, you can lay an egg. You gain an egg, but you can only do that if you're in the chicken coop. Again, only in the chicken coop is when you can pay food to heal. So Madame Tchaikovsky has 2 fists. Oh, no, sorry, that has nothing to it. When Madame is on level 1, she can pay 1 food to heal. When she's on level 2, then you have the ability to pay 2 food to heal 2 hearts. And if we make it to level 3, she can pay 3 food to do 3 hearts all in 1 turn. The next one is brood, and that is if somebody dies. But in my opinion, you'll know how many hearts it's going to take. So I strongly suggest don't dying, just go heal yourself. You just end up turning into a chick. Somebody else wastes a turn. And I'm happy it's there, but please don't use it. Don't get yourself killed. It won't be beneficial in the game. Here it's move. And so anywhere you can move from inside the coop to outside the coop. And outside, there'll be a few places you can move to, depending on who you want to fight. Your other one is to draw a card and draw a bonus card. And so that are the bonus cards are these, And they usually have some really great bonuses, such as -1 to enemy attack. So when receiving damage from a predator or grub, you reduce the amount by 1, which is really beneficial when you're really counting those hearts. Next is attack. And so you pay 1 food per attack. So she starts with 2 attacks. So every time she attacks, she has to pay 2 food to attack. Once you're outside, that's when you can eat, and that's when you're putting food in your meal counter to try and upgrade your chick. And the last one is forage, and that's just gaining a food. And those are all the turns or choices you have to make your turns throughout the game. Now there are also grubs you can attack, and these will give you some bonuses. So for an attack of 1, which is basically paying 1 food, then you have to roll the die. And if you roll a 1, then you miss your attack and you lose your food. But otherwise, you get this card and you can keep it or you can play it now or keep it later. And for this one, you're going to get 2 bonus cards, which could be very beneficial. And there's grubs that are inside the coop and outside the coop. And you can only attack them if you're inside or outside. You can't attack an outside from the inside. And at the end of every day, one of these is going to be discarded to the discard pile. The game is played over 3 seasons, and each season has 7 days. At the start of the season, and then between day 2 and 3 and 5 and 6, is when you can trade in your eggs for food, and when a new card is pulled. So you'll have a card for either 2 or 3 days, and its benefits, or sometimes it's negative benefits. It's not really a benefit. So that is how the game is played. So you have a total of 21 rounds for the entire game. So now I'm going to show you how a few of the turns are played. So I start in the coop, and because I really like this mosquito, I'm going to try attacking the mosquito. So the first thing that happens is production. And for production, I get a food. So I got myself this mouse. So I have this in my stock. So to attack for my first turn, I'm going to use that food I just got as my attack. I'm going to put it there. Then we roll the die. And as long as I don't roll a 1, I'm good. But you know what's going to happen. Let's see what happens. See, I told you, I rolled a 1. I did not win the mosquito, but I lost my food. Great way to start the game. Okay, so I still have 1 more turn, and I think I am going to leave the coop. So where am I going to go? I think I'm going to go over here to Sal, to the Golden Gables, and get set up to potentially battle him in the next round. And that is the first round done. Oh, right, I didn't do this. If you forage at least once on your turn, you gain a bonus food. So next time, I'm going to forage. I couldn't forage inside the coop. I had to be outside, and I was really hoping to get those 2 bonus cards. Now, because this round is done, we're going to get rid of a card. So I'm not sure if the mosquito is supposed to go away because I lost or not, but I'll get rid of that card up there for now. And that is the end of round 1 when you're playing solo. I got my food, I did my 2 turns, and I got rid of a bug. So we moved this to the second round. Now, because of this here where I get the bonus food, the first thing I'm going to do is forage. So instead of, I get 1 food for production at the start. My first move is foraging, so I get 2 foods. So I have 3 foods that I'm just going to put on my thing for now. So I got my production, I foraged, and you know what? Because I'm losing that card, I'm going to forage for the second. Okay, if you forage at least once on your turn. Okay, so I think I can forage a second time and get 2 more food. I'm going to bulk up on food this turn because that card's going away. So for my 2 turns, I foraged twice and got the bonus because of the card. That's the end of that day. I'm going to get rid of a card. Now, I don't have any eggs to turn into food, so I won't be doing that, but we're going to get a new spring card. And it says freezing. However, if we come back to my lady over here, I'll bring her over. This is when it says, experiences no negative effects from freezing. So that card won't affect me. However, if I was playing with other people, immediately enter the coop. Cannot leave the coop. You may eat inside during this phase. So that would really put a damper if you wanted to fight, because for the next 3 days, you can't leave the coop. So luckily, I don't have to because I'm immune from that. So we've moved to day 3. At the start of the day, I get my food for production. So now I'm here and I want to fight little Sal. Now, Madam has the fight power of 2. A lot of the starting chicks only have 1, but she has a 2, which is beneficial here. So to fight 2, I pay 2 food, and because I'm playing solo, it was only 2. So I have annihilated Salmonella. Now he has given me a damage of 1, so I'm turning 1 of my hearts over for that damage. Now once you finish with a little predator, you turn to the back page. This one allows me to put 3 food and keep it handy in my stash. And if there's any predator or weather effects, it does not affect food sitting on here. So I put it in my play area and I put 3 food on it. So I've only taken 1 of my turns so far. The attacking was the only turn I did this round. So I think for my next turn, I'm going to move. Actually, what I didn't do, sorry, I forgot. I have to roll a 4 or 6. If I roll a 4 or 6, I can't do something. I rolled a 4. So you may not eat until the next egg exchange. So therefore, I cannot upgrade my chick. But that's okay. I've got my food stash. I'm getting every negative thing. Okay, so he is done. So for my second move, I'm going to move. And I'll go here to the snake. So those are my 2 moves. Move 1 was attack. My second turn, I moved. So we're moving on to another day. At the start of that day, I get a food item for part of my production. So I still have some hearts available. So I think I'm going to attack again. So to attack, I pay 2 food because I have the attack of 2. Because of that, this guy is done. Now I have to roll, and if I roll, oh no, so typically if it was higher, you roll a 4, 6, and the predator heals by 1 heart. However, he cannot heal after defeat, and because I defeated him, I don't have to roll. But when it's a higher number with more people, then that could really affect it. We've had that happen before. So because I killed him, I turn to the last page, and he allows me to put 3 eggs there. So I'll add that to my play area, and I get 3 eggs. And this just goes to whoever defeats him. So if you're playing with multiple players, it's only the person that defeats him gets the card and the bonuses. And I lose a heart. So now I probably want to heal because I cannot eat until after the next egg thing. So I think for my second move, I'm going to move into the coop. And that's the end of that day. I attacked and I moved. So I move it again. So I get 1 food for my production. And now I want to heal. And I need 2 hearts. So I'm going to spend both of my turns, 2 turns, healing, which will cost me 2 food. And I can turn these hearts back over. And that's the end of that day. So down here, I'm moving it. So now if I had eggs, which I do have eggs, I can trade those in for food. So I think I'm going to take the 3 eggs that the snake gave me and get 3 food. Okay, so we're going to move it along. And what is our next card? Bird flu. Anyone who ends the day near another player. Okay, now since I'm playing alone, this card doesn't really matter, so I'm going to do another card. Nighttime. Once during this phase, you must perform 1 less action. Okay, but I do have my bonus campfire action, so it'll all still work out. So you have a choice in either of these days. You can only perform 1 action instead of your 2. So I am in the coop. I am fully hearted up. So I think I'm going to spend one of my turns to move here. And I am going to spend my other turn to attack. So I pay 2 food. So he goes down by 2. And it says here, attacker skips free food production until the next egg exchange. So on my next turn, I actually do not get any food. However, I've completed him. And he gives a predator's attack is -1 for an entire day. So that's good to have in my little stash. Now, because I was able to get all 3 of the predators, it is time to reveal our main boss guy. And to do the boss one, you turn right to the final page. And it's 4 times the number of player, but on a final one, you add 3. So it's actually 7 times the number of players. So for me being solo, that would just be 7. Oops, wrong side. But if you're playing with somebody else, it could be 14, 21, even higher. So it's +3 per person. So that will be my next big challenge. And I have one more move. And I think I'm going to forge and just get another food. So I just want to point out one thing. The reason why I was able to fight those predators so quickly is because she has 2 fighting attack as a chick. Now, most of the chicks only have a 1 fighting attack. And so it would take you 2 turns to fight off the predators if you're playing solo. So that is why I was able to fight them so quickly, is because of her powerful attack. The other thing, though, to notice is this new guy. He's going to attack back at 4. And I only have 4 hearts, and if I die, it's over. So I'm going to need to upgrade her to at least here, if not the top, to get the 5th and 6th heart. So I have enough hearts to attack and still survive. Or the other thing I can do is try to get some bonus cards that will either avoid the attack or at least take less of an attack. Such as this bonus here I would get 1 less attack on it. So these are the things I'm going to be working on next before I am able to attack the Gravekeeper. So I'm on the last day of this season, and I don't get any more food for this session due to the Predator card not allowing me to do food production. Due to the season card, I only get 1 turn. However, because I still have my campfire, I'm going to do it to get 2 turns. And all I'm going to do this turn is feed Madam. And so I'm going to feed her once for my 1 turn and twice for the 2nd turn. So you can do that, or you can be fancy like us and fill it in, just because we like the look of all the cute food. And so that is it for my turn. I took my 1 turn plus my bonus turn, and I fed her twice to try and start upgrading her. I need to feed her 6 times before I can upgrade her. And that is the end of the spring season. I completed spring, so it's time to move into summer. This is when I do the eggs to food, but I don't have any eggs. So all you do is you take the next summer card, and it is sunny. So once during this phase, you may perform one extra action. So in the next 2 days, I can perform one extra action. So I'm going to continue playing, and I'm going to try to upgrade my chick. And once I have her upgraded and I'm ready to battle, we'll come back and see where we're at. I spent the entire summer season collecting food and eating it. And so I managed to get Madam Tchaikovsky up to the top layer. So can perform all actions outside. And then once per turn, you may give away one food to a nearby player if you do heal. And so I think, therefore, I don't have a nearby player, but I can give away a food to heal. So I don't actually have to go inside to heal. The other thing is I managed to get 2 dodge enemy attacks. So therefore, I won't take the damage that they give me, which is really good. And I still have my 3 food down here in my stash. I have 1 egg and 3 food standing by because now she has a power of 3 to attack. So I need 3 food for each of my attacks. Now over here, if you participate in the next egg exchange, you gain a bonus of 3 food items. And we're getting close to the next egg. I just moved into day 2. So for my first move for day 2, I'm going to move up to the Badlands because that's where Gravekeeper Fowl is. So I am going to, for my second move, attack him. So to do so, I pay 3 food items and I reduce it by 3. Now I have that dodge enemy card, so I do not take any damage. And that would just go back onto the discard pile. So down here, it is time to do the egg exchange. And since I do have an egg and I'm participating, I get 3 bonus food items. So I get 4 food items this time. So I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're moving to day 3. So now we're going to see what. So it says discard a food or egg if you end your turn outside. Okay, so that will be a little bit of a hindrance because I planned on staying outside. So I'm rolling to see. So now for my production, instead of getting a food item, I have to roll for an egg. And I got a 3, and so I get an egg because if I roll a 3 to a 6, I get an egg. It's here in the corner. 3 to 6, you get an egg. So I get an egg. So for my turns, I want to attack again. So I have my 3 food items. I'm going to attack him. And I have another card. Dodge enemy attacks. So that's why it is important to try to take bonus cards throughout the game because that just saved me 4 attacks. So I still have my 6 hearts. So for my second turn, I only have to attack him by 1. So that means I can pay 1 food item. He would be 0. This time I do take attacks. However, I have this one, where it allows me to take 1 less attack. So I'm going to turn over 3 of my hearts. And the reason I have 6 hearts now is because I upgraded him and I now her and I now have 6 hearts. However, since I defeated him, I have to roll. And if I roll a 5 or a 6, he comes back to life. And you know how my luck has been during this game. I rolled a 4. I have killed Gravekeeper Fowl. And because of that, if you die, you come back to life with a heart, which is all great, but by the time you get here, I don't really know if you need it. But I guess the thing is, that was this one. I guess if he was somewhere else on the board, then it would be beneficial. But as the last thing I needed to kill, I didn't really need him. But we'll take it anyway. So now basically we have killed everybody. So I basically completed the game. And that is the fastest we've done it. And the reason why it was so fast was because our little lady here, Madame Tchaikovsky, like without that double attack at the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to do this so quickly. We've played this game previously 3 times. I played it solo, once with me and Gemma, and once me, Gemma, and Mark. And we only previously won once, and that's when Gemma and I played together. So you have to really look at the chicks and see, depending on how many people are playing, what chicks you might want to play with. And she is a good one, having that 2 attack right off the top. And that's basically how you play Flock Together. So overall, we really enjoyed playing Flock Together. And some of the things we like about it, first off, is the artwork. It's so pretty and so well done. And we love all the puns and the names that they've named all the predators and the chickens. It's really cute. And even the components. To my knowledge, I just bought a regular game. I bought it from my game store. But all the little wooden components and even the fact it comes with 6 of these game tray little containers and the eggs and these little wooden, these could easily have all been punch outs. And I really appreciate it when we get some nice quality pieces. It makes playing the game that much better. Now, the other thing is that it is a cooperative game. And typically, I'm not the biggest fan of cooperative games. But with this one, you're each playing your own character with your own little special things and then working together to kill the predators. And the thing with the predators too I like is right up front how much damage you're taking. It's not based on a number you roll on a die. And so you can go in there confidently knowing I can place an attack, I'm not going to die, and I'll move forward. So as long as you plan correctly, you are able to do your attack and you'll take damage, but you won't completely die. And the other thing is that there's still a ton of characters to choose from. Just some backs, you can see the name. There's a General Chow, a Sherlock Holmes, Attila the Hen, Winston Coopil. So you see, it's really fun. Cumberbill Rockefeller. So it's just really fun, punny names. And there's a lot here. And if you look through them, they'll all have maybe some different starting abilities in that. And at the same time, there's a whole pile of predators. Here we have, so we can turn them over. It's like Ursula Bone, Sheercorn, Hans Gruber, a lot of little Disney ones, Owl Capone. So a lot of really fun names in that. And it's just such a really cute, fun game to play. And you can play it alone like I was showing you, or it plays up to 5 players. And now a few things about the game that we wish were maybe a little different. And the first one has to come with your eggs on the last 2 days. So typically here and here, you change your eggs for food. But when you're collecting eggs on the last 2 days, there's no more egg exchange. And so you're like, well, why am I even bothering collecting them if I can't actually use them for anything? So maybe if there was some rule for the last 2 days where you could change your eggs to food, that would be helpful. The other thing is you use 3 season cards for each game, for each season, and there's 6 in the game. Well, very soon you only have to play it a couple of times and you're going to get those cards repeating. So I really wish there were a lot more season cards included in the game, so you don't get the same repeats happening when you play multiple games. Because this game, for one person, only takes under half an hour per person, so 2 people would play an hour. And we've already played this multiple times, and so already we're seeing the exact same weather cards. So we wish there was just a lot more weather cards in the game. Then the next thing I want to mention is sharing food. This is a cooperative game, but we are not allowed to share food with each other. And we just wish that, say you have two chickens, they're both in the same location, such as the coop, that they should be able to maybe share their food. So if one's going out to attack, they can use that food to do their attacking, and the other chicken can even be gathering up more food and then sharing it. So if there was a bit more interaction between the characters and the chickens, I think that would be better. Or going a step further, if you're playing with multiple people, if you would have one chicken that'd be sort of a gatherer, one would be the attacker, and working together and sharing your resources, I think would really benefit the game, especially being a cooperative game where you're working together for the same goal. But overall, as I said, we did really enjoy this game. It's super cute. It's fun to play with a group of people. And yeah, I'm very happy. I've been wanting this game for a while, so I'm so excited to finally be able to give it a try. So let me know in the comments if you've played Flock together or if it's a game that's on your radar.